now we're here and we're about to kick off this game. Let's get into starting lineups really quickly. First with the Stanford Cardinal, it's Cami Miner, Anna Pringle, Jordan Harvey, Lizzie Andrew, Elia Rubin, Sammy Francis, and of course, Elena Ogilvy. And for the visiting LMU Lions, it's Gianna Lawson, Kaylani Hayes, Sophia Meyer, Marley Arrington, Sam Hastings, Mia Schaefer, and Paige Flickinger. Whew, that was a lot of information for the start, but let's get into it now. Naya, so happy to be here alongside you. You were here last night for the doubleheader for both of these two teams' games. So
very intense last night.
Very intense.
And this is also going to be an intense game. We just saw that Louisville, the reverse sweep, 22-20 in that fifth set versus Northern Iowa. So this match will also be on fire for us tonight.
We'll talk more about how all roads might go through Louisville as the first point goes to the Lions. And Naya, we talked to both coaches before this game, and specifically I think it's important to first kick it off by talking about, obviously the Cardinal are favored here. They're the number 2 seed, but these Lions, there's something about them. What did you see from them last night?
Last night, I think they had control of the match most of the time. Obviously, UW still a really good team. They came back toward the end, but the energy from LMU, you can see it in the crowd. Anyone watching from home, you even see their fans behind them. They are hyped the whole match. The fans didn't slow down, and LMU didn't slow down. Even in those tough moments, you notice everyone's faces, they all stayed steady, but Stanford does the same thing. So this is a battle of two steady teams that try to keep the energy level high as they compete, and they play hard. As we just saw with that swing from number 5, Jordan Harvey.
I was going to say, speaking of energy levels, high to already start this match. Stanford side out, they'll get the serve back, and Jordan Harvey, who just got the kill, is here on the serve. Off of the head of Lawson, but it'll stay in play.
Took her eye off the ball a little bit there, trying to get out of the way and get ready to swing, but they still get that point, even with a little mishap there, and she took that ball in the head and got back into the play.
I love to see them smiling about it. She's pointing to her head like, thank you, head, and she'll now take the service here. This is Gianna Lawson.
She had a night last night. I mean, 8 kills, 8 blocks, hitting .444. Really locked in and focused.
She leads the team in blocks right now, 161 on the season.
A miss there with that serve, but had 2 aces last night, so we know that both of these teams are going to serve each other really tough. I think we might see some more misses here as they really go for it on each side.
And that's a point you guys made on the broadcast last night, as Rubin now with the serve.
As I just said.
Just as you were saying kind of like in tennis, high reward but high risk, right?
Exactly. Both teams are going to try their hardest to get each other out of system. Each side knows what they bring, the firepower they both have on offense. So getting each other out of system, forcing 1 passes, 2 passes is going to be the key on each side.
Here's Delphina Shu with the serve. Lions with the point, with another one from Paige Flickinger. Her second kill of the night already.
Flickinger, she leads her team, the LMU Lions, in total kills for the season. She's their go-to outside. Her along with Myers, both very strong outside hitters there.
Shu with another service, this time out of bounds. That'll go to Stanford. Now another side out. We've gone back and forth quite a bit to start this game. How important is it for both of these teams to come out strong right now?
I mean, we can see the energy on both sides. No one is pulling any punches right now. They are both really going after it. Again, another misserve, as I said. They are really trying to attack each other right now. And honestly, I really like this energy from both teams.
Coco Kirsch with the serve. She had 2 aces versus Sacramento State yesterday. And once again, LMU with the point on the kill. Another side out.
Flickinger getting going early in this match. Even last night, you know, she finished the match with 13 kills, had a little bit more with errors, had about 9 hitting errors last night. So I think tonight she's like, we're not doing that again. Let me start this off strong.
We're coming out clean, and here she is now with the service. Stanford has something to say about it. take another look here.
Yeah, that's freshman Lizzie Andrew. She had 4 kills, 2 blocks last night with Sac State. Her and Cami Minor working on their connection there with a really strong swing from the All-ACC freshman team.
Cami Minor now with the serve. Minor with the set.
And that ball flies right towards us. Big swing there from the outside on Stanford.
Yeah, had to duck out of the way. That was Kurt there with that big swing, and she'll get the point for the Cardinal. Cami Minor once again to serve. We'll talk plenty about Cami Minor on this broadcast. There is too much to say about her before she serves.
Oh, we have a laundry list of accolades for Miss Minor from the Cardinal.
There she is now with another set over the top for Kurt once again. That's 3 in a row for the Stanford Cardinal.
I like seeing that smart tip from Kurt there. We know she can take big swings. It's what she's known for, but she sees where the defense is and decides to throw them off with a tip right behind the block.
Smart move from the redshirt freshman there, and now Minor with the serve back set. Cardinal able to keep it in play, and they'll win the point there.
Again, another off-speed shot. Little roll shot right into the block, into the hands from Ipar Kurt. 6'2" outside hitter, redshirt freshman. Hails from Istanbul, Turkey. Has some international professional volleyball experience that she brings to the Cardinal.
And a lefty at that, second team All-ACC from this past year, and now the Lions, different animal. Trying to win this serve back. Here's the set from Hastings. And a shot from Myers.
5, Myers, she takes big swings. And for her, it does not matter that she is 5'11", a more undersized outside hitter. She gets up there. You can see that from the athleticism, how she jumps. She gets her feet to the ball, and when she has it open, she's going for that kill every time.
You and the wonderful, the legendary Kevin Dana on the broadcast last night talked about the height of these LMU Lions and how it on paper looks like it might be a factor, but it actually isn't for them on the court.
Well, let's talk about who's on the court right now. So Gianna Lawson just misses that last block there, but as I said, last night had 8 blocks. She also leads the Lions in total blocks for her team. Does not matter that she is 5'9", up against Stanford's middle blockers, 6'5", 6'6". She is hanging in there with this team.
Yeah, for those of you newer to volleyball, 5'9" is actually not that tall. Point goes to LMU. And I guess as a former player yourself, I think the big question is, how do you combat that? Obviously, it's like in other sports, you can't teach speed, you can't teach height. So how do you combat that if you're the LMU Tigers? Are you just looking to place your balls specifically more on the other side?
I think for her, even with her height, it also comes down to her athleticism, how high she's able to get up. She's able to play where you would think maybe a 6'1", 6'2" middle blocker is playing, and she shows that. You can see it on her face, her determination. I think Kevin said it last night on the broadcast. He talked to Trent Kirsten, their head coach, and he said, you know, for her to be 5'9", she plays like she's a 6'10" middle blocker. She has so much athleticism, so much. Her court vision is really, really strong. So she brings all of that to the table for this LMU team.
We could absolutely see that. Elliot Rubin with the kill to win the serve back for Stanford, and that serve coming from Ogilvie, and now a tip at the net. Point will go to Stanford.
A couple of small errors here on the LMU side, but still a lot of determination. Only a 2-point deficit here.
Elena Ogilvie, 2024 second team All-ACC. She holds the 3rd time all-time record for the Stanford Cardinal in digs. You'll see her a lot as well, and the Tigers with the point at the net. Speaking of height, they're winning just as many points at the net.
Yep, exactly. And that's outside hitter number 5, Sophia Myers. She just took a big swing there. Snuck that one through the Stanford block. Last night she finished their match against UW with 21 kills, 3 blocks, 2 aces, and hit 375. So she's coming out with a lot of firepower in this match against Stanford.
Minor with the set to Harvey there, and Harvey with the kill for the Cardinal. Let's take a look at that.
Nice swing high off of the block there.
Harvey now with the serve back set. Minor to Rubin. Now the Tigers looking to answer, and a beautiful textured ball there from Lawson.
That ball just a little too high for her. Their timing was just slightly off, but she kind of pokes that one over. Take a look. And it lands right in the middle. That was a hard one, off-speed shot. I know Stanford was preparing for a big swing from her on that one.
Lawson now with the serve, and we knew this was going to be a deadlock, but right from the start, what a match we have.
Such a smart play from Rubin. Minor getting her that bump set out of system, but she puts it high. Rubin's able to do something with it. She sees it's a little bit tight, but doesn't matter. There's hands in front of her. She'll always figure out something to do there in front of the block.
Rubin, first team All-ACC, one of 7 Cardinal with all conference accolades. Same actually goes for LMU, who just win that point there. 7 players with all conference honors for the Lions. We'll get more into that as we take a look at that replay. Nothing you can do about that.
Big swing from the 5th year, 6-foot middle blocker from LMU. Last night finished with 9 kills, hitting .571, so she's still on fire from then as well.
Shu now with the serve right into the net.
She was trying to go down the line with that serve. Take out their outside and the serve receive, try to make it harder on her to get on her route to hit.
Coco Kirsch now on to serve for the Cardinal. Point to LMU. They made sure of it. They were signaling that it was touched by the Cardinal, and it certainly was.
Big, big, high, into the hand swing there from LMU.
Flickinger, the graduate transfer from LSU, with the serve here for the Lions. Ogilvy to Kurt.
That ball just a little bit long from her. She was trying to go for that deep corner shot. It's a good shot. A little wide on that one, but usually you get a really good swing from her there.
Flickinger, 2024 All-WCC first team. One of the 7 players for the Lions that earned those conference honors. Hastings with a set for Myers, blocked by the Cardinal, and that looked like it was mainly Cami Minor.
See at this replay here, Myers really trying to get that cross-court shot there, but Lizzie Andrew, 6'5", those hands solid over the net, shoulders, hips, everything facing forward, making sure that block stays inside the court.
Lizzie Andrew, All-ACC freshman team, and you mentioned her and Cami Minor trying to work on that connection and that relationship. What did you see from them last night, and what do you want to see as a growth from them into tonight?
Talked about this last night as well. I've noticed one thing with Cami Minor that I really, really like and appreciate is even when she can feel that a player of hers is a little bit off, maybe the connection's off, their timing's off, or they're just not feeling confident, she will continue to go back to them. You can tell the look on her face, hey, you're gonna still get another ball. Don't get down on yourself, it's still coming back to you. And even if they miss again, she's like, doesn't matter, it's coming back. And I noticed that with her and Lizzie Andrew last night. She kept going, and she was able to continue to score.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back as we get a look here at the LMU Tigers and head coach Trent Kirsten in his 2nd year at the helm. He was the 2024 WCC Coach of the Year this year. He's the first women's volleyball coach at LMU to receive that award since 1996, and Steve Stratos. He's been around the country prior to LMU. He was at San Jose State University, just down the road from here, and before that, he's been pretty active in the USA Volleyball High Performance programs. Oh, and by the way, he was quite the player himself, played at UCLA, walked on, earned a scholarship, and then went on to actually cement himself in the record books there at UCLA.
Yeah, and played under head coach John Spera, who's with the head coach of the men's U.S. national team. So a lot of experience that Trent Kirsten brings to this LMU squad. And yesterday we talked to him before the match as well, and he just talked about how much fun he's having coaching this LMU team and just enjoying the journey that he's on with them.
I love that. I feel like you can tell this team is having a lot of fun. They have a lot of energy, and that always starts at the top as we get another look here. Woof. What a shot right there from Jordan Harvey. Here's Ipar Kurt.
Harvey out of Salt Lake City.
Speaking of Harvey.
She's been key for Stanford's offense. The sophomore opposite at 6'1", so athletic.
Get a little look at that athleticism right there. And here's the serve from Kurt. A miscue, and oh my goodness, Rubin punishes them for it.
That arm on Rubin. I mean, is there a hole in the floor? Can we double check?
I don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
That was a big swing from an overpass.
And we'll get a timeout here. Stanford in the lead, 18-15. Timeout is LMU. And after a strong start for the Tigers, Stanford seemed to be slowly taking control. Nia, what would you say is going on in this huddle right now for LMU?
For LMU at this point, just making sure that they stay in it. Obviously, we know they have their own firepower that they can bring, but been a little bit off now in the last 5 to 6 points. So I know right now the conversation is going to be, how do we get back to that? How do we get back to the basics? You know, literally, you know, pass, set, kill for them coming out of this. Just trying to refocus, talk to each other on the court, figure out their serve receive, and come back with firepower against Stanford's defense.
Back to basics might be something you learned from this guy right here, Kevin Hambley, head coach for the Stanford Cardinal and your former head coach at Illinois. He's been at the helm for 8 seasons now for the Cardinal, and he has the accolades to show for it. He's the 6th ever head coach in program history. His records really speak for themselves, but let's get into a couple of them. As you see here, he's 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, 5-time Pac-12 champion most recently in 2023, of course, with this year being their first year in the ACC. And he's also led the Cardinal to 3 straight national semifinal appearances in his first 3 seasons on the farm, and you are obviously very familiar with him. What would you say is his best quality or your favorite quality of his as a coach?
I think his ability to never seem rattled. Never.
That's a good one to have as a coach.
Definitely. Continues to be steady, even if he's frustrated, even sometimes when he's happy. But yeah, really a really great career here for Kevin as Stanford's head coach. They are 98-12 at Maples Pavilion here for their home games, including 19-2 in the NCAA tournament. So hoping to close out this match tonight with a big win and keep that streak going here in Maples.
Unbelievable rally we have going on right now. Myers ends it, the longest rally we've had tonight.
They are playing with so much grit. Look at this team on both sides. Big rips at the net, huge swings from their power outsides. But Myers comes in, she finds the hole in the block there. And even LMU on that side, it got through, but defense picks that ball up. Myers sees that seam, and she takes it.
Sophia Myers, as you can see, 4 kills already on the day. Saved here from Harvey. It'll be Rubin.
Oh, let's talk about that out-of-system play and that bump set from Jordan Harvey. She's laughing. She knows she did not get that ball to the position she wanted, but guess what? Elia Rubin doesn't care. She gets her feet to that ball, takes a little swing at that, and it lands right in the middle of the court.
Certainly looked like she meant to do it to me. Here's Ogilvy. Back set and blocked at the net. That's a combination right there of Rubin and Francis.
Huge block there, 6'6", Sammy Francis. Look at that. Oh my, that's textbook.
Sammy Francis, a name we haven't gotten to say too much on this broadcast. A senior out of San Diego. She's a middle blocker. She's having quite the season so far. 242 kills. She's averaging 2.5 kills per set and 159 blocks totally on the season. first team all ACC, and she was dealing with a lot of injuries in her career early on. Kevin said this is the player we always expected we'd have finally healthy, and she's a menace at the net.
Oh, even that last play, her and Ruben wanted to make sure they closed that block to the point that they crashed into each other there and obviously got the stuff. And now she just comes back, Ruben with a big swing cross court to get the kill there. And that was just a high swing. Lawson there on the block, hands a little bit high and away from the net, so she wasn't as pressed on that one. Ruben sees that one and takes a big, nice high swing.
And another timeout from LMU, 6 kills for Elia Rubin. That one actually came pretty close to us. Maybe we'll catch one at some point today.
Stanford, they want to take our heads off this match. I think I said that earlier. They're coming for us over here.
They certainly do. So Stanford in control, 21-16 of this first set. And in best of 5, I have to ask you, how important is it to take the first set?
Taking the first set is obviously important, right? Everybody wants to win really in 3 in a sweep. But for Stanford, this is them showing that they have control of this match right now. And going forward, what I will say is, and one thing about Kevin, the first set, it's not enough. That's just one. We already know both Stanford and LMU. We know we've already seen multiple reverse sweeps in the last few weeks. They know that the first set isn't enough. They have control right now. What matters is going into the second set, can they maintain that?
Speaking of reverse sweeps, you already mentioned it, but we'll say it again. Louisville reverse swept Northern Iowa. They went down in sets 2-0, came back and won the 5th set 22-20. Absolutely wild. Meanwhile, last night, LMU, they almost got reverse swept. They won the first 2 sets. Washington Huskies came back, won the next 2 sets, and that one went to the 5th set, 19-17. LMU took it. So they went 5 sets last night. The Cardinal, on the other hand, 3-0 straight sets against Sacramento State.
Yeah, big match last night from LMU. That one was just a thriller. But WCC Setter of the Year senior Mia Schaefer for LMU literally assisted her team in putting up some big numbers last night in that win. And we see that again here with that swing through the block. Arrington sneaks that one in. Just a little bit late there from Francis getting to the block, and so she leaves that opening for Arrington. And Jordan Harvey moving outside of the antenna a little bit on that block as well.
Myers with the serve and the tip over from Francis. Handled at the net, and that's a difficult one to get to. Stanford with the point. Jordan Harvey now with the serve for the Cardinal. Francis.
Big swing on the top of that block there. See if we see this on the replay. She's coming inside just a little bit late. They try to get hands on that one. Pin hitter. Flickinger just a little bit outside of her approach there on that ball. Swing down the line, just out for Arrington. And here's Jordan Harvey back to serve. That tip from Rubin. Again, another smart play. I think we talked about this last night. Her court vision. She has so many different shots up her sleeve and in the chamber for her. And she has just been exploiting LMU's defense right behind the block on that one.
So we're getting set to kick it off. And of course, we've talked about how important the first set is, but now you're down 1-0 if you're the Lions. Is it dire yet, or are you still trying to focus on what you need to focus on?
Again, I'm looking at the faces of these players. They still look totally confident. They look ready. They look determined. I think they knew this match was going to be a battle. They do not seem rattled yet.
Mia Schaefer with the first serve of the set, and the first point will go to the Cardinal. Elia Rubin rising.
Again, with another tip there from her. And they're setting up ready for a big swing from her, but tips it in the middle, and the defense did not communicate on that one.
Her 8th kill of the night, and here's Ogilvy.
Ogilvy, Stanford's standout libero in her 5th year. 5'10" libero from Honolulu, Hawaii. She's been the backbone of Stanford's defense for years, and her and Cammie have such a special bond in the way that they run the court together and collaborate with this team. 2-time Pac-12 libero of the year before being in the ACC, and 2-time AVCA All-American honorable mention.
Here's the back set now, and swinging through it is Harvey. Another point to the Cardinal.
Straight down the line for her. Harvey with 5 kills on the match so far, hitting .625, no errors.
Oof. I don't even think you need to understand volleyball to know that that's good. Here's a shot down the line.
Again, Arrington.
Arrington, you said it.
Making her way through this block so far. Her last 3 kills, I think she has been able to exploit the seams of Stanford's block.
WCC all-freshman team. And here's the serve now from Myers. Myers, who we just spoke about. The shot from Rubin, almost saved, but can't quite get to it as Lawson.
Sneaky, sneaky with that one.
9th kill on the night. Now serving for the Stanford Cardinal. That'll be number 5, Jordan Harvey. Here's the set all the way to the side. A tricky one from Flickinger, but the Cardinal read it.
Very, very fast set there from Schaefer. And they roof that one. Stanford Arrington trying to go inside, a little bit off speed with her approach to that ball. And I think she just got a little bit trapped, as you can see with the kind of hand wave after. She kind of knows she didn't have a lot of options on that one. Tried to swing away, but it's hard to do that when you have 6'6" Sammy Francis right in front of you. Arms pressed over the net. But they go back to her. She says, okay, won't go inside on this one. Let's go down the line.
We'll go outside. That seems to be working.
Let's take a look at that there. Yeah, they both came in again trying to close on her, but turns that one down the line off of Elia Rubin's outside hand.
Gianna Lawson now transfer from San Jose State with the serve.
And she followed her coach, head coach Trent Kerson from San Jose State here. Now they're back in the Bay Area.
You actually see 3 players from San Jose State following their coach. Always a good sign when players will transfer to stay under that same head coach. And a nice serve there from Rubin. Can't get to it.
Stanford
is Myers.
Starting to pull away a little bit here. LMU trying to figure out what they need to do. They've got to communicate and decide what's going to work for them on this serve receive so they can get their offense going.
Here's a serve now, Rubin. Good defense there from Hastings, and a shot over the net.
That is a tough one. Hastings. Good pass, 3 pass there to the setter. They try to run a tempo play. Doesn't quite work on this one, but see if they can do it again and try to score and get Stanford out of the scoring run.
Here's Rubin once again on the serve. That one will go long. So Stanford bail out LMU, huh?
Yep, they got saved with that one, and see what Stanford will do now on this side out here. Sam Hastings, though, the libero on LMU from Frisco, Texas. She's a transfer from USC, University of Southern California, but she is showing in this match so far why she is the WCC Libero of the Year.
Shu with the serve. Minor with the set to Francis.
Side out from Stanford. Francis scoring on that slide off of the hands. Take a look at that tempo. Look at that.
Stanford certainly seemed to be firing on all cylinders. Cami Minor just seems to be picking out exactly who she wants.
Yeah, and Francis and Minor, that connection that they have there is something special.
Here's a serve now from Taylor Yu. And the kill shot from Olivia Toland. Toland with her first kill of the night. Paige Flickinger now will serve for the Lions.
That's the 6'1" junior opposite there, number 21, Olivia Toland, with that swing on the outside. Playing right side right now for LMU.
Minor with the set. Absolutely gorgeous. Kurt
hits that one right over the block. She gets there on tempo, gets her feet under the ball. Let's take a look at that swing. They're not able to close the block on that one, but even still, she was still over their hands on that. Such a high swing. She really gets up there.
Cami Minor with the serve.
Nice dig there from Rubin. Fills the hole on Myers.
Kurt once again, and now rising is Myers.
Big swing cross court from Jordan Harvey. And her connection with Cami Minor tonight has been on fire. That set from behind the 10-foot line from Elena Ogilvie. She's so good at those as well.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with you shortly for the rest of this second set. Welcome back, everybody, and we'll take a look here. LMU took down the Washington Huskies last night. It was 5 sets, though. LMU took the first 2, Washington took the second 2, and then it came down to the 5th set. LMU took it 19-17.
Such a wild match last night. So much energy. I think I talked about this earlier. LMU had control of the match for the most part, obviously, until those last few sets, and then they came back alive in the 5th. As we saw there on that graphic, Sophia Myers, 21 kills last night. She's the 2nd outside hitter on her team in total points, and she is one of the driving forces for that offense. And her setter, Delfina Shu from Argentina, 27 assists last night. Oof.
Another big rally to start us back from break here. Ogilvie trying to set up Kurt there. It's handled well from LMU, blocked at the net, and we'll go again. Myers was looking for the kill on that one.
LMU struggling a little bit in this set to score. Very different from what we saw in the first set, even though they lost. Very different in their scoring runs, though. Trying to figure out their timing and connection.
What have you seen change? Is it something different that Stanford are showing them on defense, or is it something that they just lost a little bit of momentum and they need to get it back?
Definitely a loss of momentum on that side, and honestly, kind of noticing with the hitters, which I haven't seen. I didn't see it last night. Seems like at some moments they're going for it, but maybe have pulled back just a little bit because of some of the errors that they've been making. And as we see, head coach Kirsten's made some changes here and there. We have Arrington back in. Running that 6-2 offense on that other side.
Well done from the Cardinal, but keeps being blocked at the net. Once again, here's Rubin, blocked once again at the net. That was Arrington there. Set now back to Myers. Rubin.
She gets the touch on that one. Yeah, I think right now LMU, to continue my point from before, just maybe playing a little bit more tense than we've seen them.
You mentioned the errors, and it's funny when you look at their stat sheet just across the entirety of their season, they're outperforming their opponent in every single category except for errors made. And that's the one category that they are underperforming in. In other words, they're making too many unforced errors.
Yeah, and right now in this set, we obviously see that this is what's killing their momentum in terms of trying to chip away with this Stanford lead. for them, it just comes down to refocusing and going back to the basics.
Sophia Myers, Seattle, Washington product.
Gets the ace on that one, just what they needed. It's just what the doctor ordered for LMU to try to chip away at this lead and get back in it, inspire the team.
That's the kind of thing that can turn momentum. We mentioned Sophia Myers, all WCC first team, and she's been a huge contributor in this tournament last night and today, but my goodness,
That
Elia
is
Rubin.
a tough one there. Perfect pass on the money from Ogilvie to Minor, and she gives Elia Rubin that tempo set. It falls inside in the perfect spot. They hold Gianna Lawson in the middle with Sammy Francis there, and there is no double block on Rubin for that swing.
Flickinger was denied. She goes again. Second time's the charm.
Flickinger there, 5'9", and so much power as she goes up against that big Stanford block.
So some work to do here for the Lions. 14-9, the Cardinal lead. Gianna Lawson will serve for LMU. Oh, you don't see that a lot. Cami Minor.
Cami Minor with a really smart dump there. And LMU actually getting a hand on that one, but not enough for them to recover that ball.
Kevin Hambley has said that the best thing about her, obviously, other than her court vision, which we just saw on full display, is her decision making. And
Absolutely.
I think that was on full display there as well.
Absolutely. Solo block
Block
there
at the
from
net.
Kurt, too. Oh, and that one lands from Kaylani Hayes.
Splitting the arms of Minor and Francis, and a good one from Kaylani Hayes.
LMU, the change, the 6-2. Shu back into set. Tolan back in on the right side here.
Delfina Shu from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Just over the net, she gets the lucky bounce.
Those lucky tape serves. They're so hard to get to. Stanford laughing that one off. Really nothing you can do. I mean, that landed in the perfect spot. There is no one there.
Delfina Shu will serve once again.
Another one taking out Kurt on that one, but Cami says, well, no one's paying attention to me. Let me dump one more time. 2
dumps in a row. Listen, you've witnessed a lot more volleyball than me, but I haven't seen that all too much. 2 back-to-back.
You know, if it works, it works. But again, this is what we talk
works.
about, that court vision there.
Absolutely.
She knows that by taking out Kurt in the serve receive on that one, she just lost an option. So LMU's defense lining up on the other side, knowing that she now only has 2, maybe 3 from out of the back row options, and she decides to take that one for herself.
Minor to Kurt.
Running that inside play there. LMU not ready for that one. Kurt herself laughing as she made sure to get up just 2 feet off the ground, no approach, and gets the kill on that.
You once again with the serve. And here come the Lions. Block at the net, handled well.
Flickinger with the big swing, but Tolan kind of an off speed off the outside of Lizzie Andrews' arms there, and she's looking, trying to figure out how that slipped past her. It hits the tape, and so it makes that off-speed shot. Those are hard to pick up on defense when you're waiting for a big swing.
Flickinger now with the serve. LMU have come within 4 points at the closest in this set to the Cardinal. Have yet to tie it up. Stanford came out strong.
There. And Kurt, oh, they picked that one up.
What a save.
Huge.
Flicked on over from Myers.
Big one. Once again, the Libero Hastings WCC Libero of the Year, and she just showed you why with that play. Impressive swing, even from Myers, taking a swing on that bump set, coming from way outside area 6 in the back row, and she still goes after it.
Hastings, you mentioned Libero of the Year. Also, of course, all WCC first team. She's also been invited to the USA Volleyball Open program 2 years running, and that point will go to the Cardinal. So every single time LMU creep a little bit closer, the Cardinal can stave them off.
Really impressive swing there from Kurt. Had a trouble handling that first pass on the serve receive, but they give her a really, really inside bump set, and she takes a huge rip at that and scores.
Minor on the serve. Ace for Cami Minor.
Ace from Minor. I know Kevin was really happy with Kurt on that swing. He loves the out-of-system swings where you really get your feet to the ball and go after it.
Minor again on the serve for the Cardinal.
Good pass.
Toland once again. Minor for Andrews. Back on the other side, it's Myers.
From Myers, and look at the passion on the LMU side. They're trying to fight to come back. They are needing every point right now. Trying to get the team hype. Stanford, a little shocked on that one. They left that line wide open for her, and she takes it.
This will be Sam Hastings, the libero, to serve. Big moment for the Lions here to try to creep a little closer.
And like you just said, trading those points back and forth, LMU trying to solidify their spot, and Stanford says, not too much, we're coming right back.
And it's the mental focus really from the Cardinal. We actually talked to Kevin Hambley about this before the game. Stanford know how dangerous LMU is, that if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile and a half.
Yeah, and they are showing that so far in this match. A solo block from Rubin. You look at her arms there on that block, turned back into the court. Arms pressed over, has her eye on that ball.
Just a huge night so far for Elia Rubin. 12 kills, 6 digs, 2 blocks.
3 blocks now.
3 blocks now, excuse me. Now, we talked about how LMU arrived here. How did the Stanford Cardinal arrive here last night? They took on Sacramento State, and they beat him in 3 straight sets. But it's not as easy as it looks, and you were on the call for that one, Naya.
Yeah, as we see here on the graphic, Rubin with 15 kills, hit 423, 5 digs, 2 assists, and 3 aces last night. But Sac State, unfortunately, could not outlast them, and Stanford has beat Sacramento State every time they've faced in their record against them. And Stanford, again, we talked to Kevin earlier, Coach Hambley, about this. They knew going into it that they had to stay focused and still play at a high level. We saw that based on the stats last night. They came in to that match and they handled business, not too many unforced errors, and they were prepared today. As we said with Kevin earlier, he said yesterday's gone, this is a new team, and now they're refocused for this match.
And we also saw there that Stanford have never lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and that continues as they won last night. The second round, a little bit of a different story, and actually a team that has handed them a second round loss is in fact the LMU Lions. You look at the history matchup between them. Overall, Stanford with 4 wins, LMU with 1 win. When you look at the tournament specifically, Stanford have won 3 out of the 4 times they've met in the tournament. But the most recent time that these two teams met was in 2018 in the second round of the NCAA tournament. And the Lions took it in straight sets, 3-0 against the Cardinal. Anything can happen in NCAA tournament play.
Oh, and there's a call there on that one. I think she may have touched the net, kind of missed what that call was there.
I also think it might have been a net.
No argument, no challenge calls on that one. Yeah, was a net violation.
22-14 now. Cardinal seemingly in full control of this set.
Tough serve from Ipar Kurt. And Myers finds the floor on that one.
And good work once again from the libero Hastings to chase that one down.
Coach Hambley a little frustrated on that one. I remember during my time with him, he was always big on setting up the block on out-of-system plays. You know these players are going to take a big swing no matter where the ball is coming from. Make sure you're lined up. you close that block and you get in a good position.
All WCC first teamer Mia Schaefer with the serve now.
Jordan Harvey throws that tip to their right back. Myers again, big swing. And they are slowly making their way back in this right now. Stanford figuring out how they are going to answer to Myers and her swings on the outside.
Schaefer once again.
Well, there's the answer right there in Rubin. As you said, that back and forth. Stanford can't let them take a big swing and also get the next point.
Absolutely
and
incredible.
That is just outside, straight down. LMU block not reading that one, unfortunately.
14th kill of the night there for Rubin, and now Ogilvie with the serve.
A little off speed, and that's a tough one. Watch that replay here. Rubin there, but not expecting that at all from her, and wasn't able to react in time to pick that ball up.
That was Lawson on the kill, and now Myers with the serve. Once
Rubin
again.
up, and Miner knowing she can trust her outside to be ready for that one. Rubin going in, she sees the block in front of her, and as you can see it in her body. Squares up, shoulders, and then turns that one down the line.
Set point now for the Cardinal, 24-17.
Bump set, and Roof
Flickinger
by Miner. Francis waving goodbye after that block.
Francis has had a few things to say after some of these big blocks.
Let's just talk about that, though. Miner and Francis have been so good together on the block. You notice so far throughout the match, almost solid every time they block together, not leaving too many seams, doing a great job communicating with each other on that one.
And they'll need her right now, down 2-0. They're trying to keep their tournament hopes alive and keep dancing. Stanford Cardinal, on the other hand, they'll kick it off with Ogilvie, a good person to have serving from the jump, and a lucky one.
Starting off with a tape serve. We just talked about that one in the last set. So hard. Most teams are usually not prepared for those ones.
I imagine they don't tell you to aim for the top of the tape ever.
You know, if someone could aim for the top of the tape every time and score, you do it every single serve.
Every time. And a good setup there. That was Lawson with the attempted kills. Point to the Stanford Cardinal as that sails long.
LMU continuing to still be a little bit off in the setter connection with their hitters, not able to take big swings like they were doing earlier in the match, actually in the beginning of the first set, and certainly not like they were yesterday against UW.
Nice textured from Myers, handled from the Stanford Cardinal, and now tipped at the line or at the net, and it'll go long.
You can see head coach Trent Kirsten, curious look on his face, trying to figure out why his players have not been able to take big swings so far, kind of following in from the last set. Trying to figure out what's kind of going on there for them. You can't give Stanford an easy tip like that because they will come back with what they just did, and that point from Elia Rubin.
Rubin again.
They get this one up. Off-speed shot from her.
Wide from Francis.
Francis not able to get on top of that ball. You can see in the way that she hit that one. Arm and elbow a little bit tucked on her. Not able to take a full swing on that, and so that sails out of bounds. But so far, the rest of her swings have been solid.
And an important point there for LMU. 3-1 now to kick off this match, and Myers with the serve for LMU, and that's tipped at the line. Harvey with the kill.
All right, Stanford putting some pressure on them. Myers, we talked about, as Yusuf said, her aces, putting a lot of pressure on this Stanford serve receive now. Trying to turn this around early.
Myers once again. That'll go long. We talk about unforced errors, and in the third set when you're down 2-0, that's something that you can't do from the jump against the Cardinal.
Yeah, right now, especially with LMU, as we saw in the last 2 sets, Stanford went on pretty long scoring runs. LMU cannot afford to do that again if they want to stay in this match.
A beautiful set and a tip over from Flickinger.
That's picked up.
Flickinger.
Down in the corner. She turns that one across the top of the block and down the line, finds the corner. No one on defense is there. I think they were hoping that one would land out. She finds the very, very corner on that one.
6 kills now on the night for Flickinger. She's second on the team right now behind Myers, who has 8. LMU with an important side out, and now they'll take the serve. This is Gianna Lawson.
Flickinger hitting 385 on the match.
Lawson, graduate transfer from San Jose State. It'll sail out of bounds.
Head coach Trent Kirsten looking a little frustrated with the unforced errors, as we just talked about, from LMU. Again, I will say it, if they want to stay in this match and don't want Stanford to pull away, Stanford shows they are a very disciplined team a lot of the times, but as I say that, Ruben served that one out of bounds. But we talked about this in the beginning of the match. We know that there were going to be a lot of service errors in this game because both teams are going for it on the serve. Unfortunately, in volleyball, anyone who's played knows going for it sometimes results in service errors.
It's a fine line to walk. You have to be aggressive when you're down by this much, but you don't want that to result in errors, and a lucky one there. Shu gets it over, and Stanford Cardinal
there with Arrington putting her arm out for that ball, but Shu was there to try to pick that one up from Lizzie Andrew. That swing there from Stanford.
Taylor Yu on the serve. 27 aces on the season so far for Yu. She'll put it in play, and just a miss there from Arrington.
Yeah, that was a tough swing from Arrington. I think she wasn't expecting that ball to be a little bit further off the net and went to kind of swing for that one, but I think maybe didn't have court vision on that to see her other options, maybe turning that ball high hands.
Here's a serve, Shu with the set. Hayes gets it over. It's a Cardinal turn. Kurt gets it over. Flickinger again.
Straight down from Flickinger. Trying to get some firepower back in this LMU team. Let's take a look here. Right outside of that Stanford block. Did not get all the way out to the line on that one. I think we saw Coach Hambley maybe mention that to Kurt. I know they've talked about that in watching film and practice, but you know what happens.
Andrews.
Shu getting a hand on that ball, but Hastings trying to get the bump set, doesn't quite get it there, and so they give Stanford, unfortunately, a free ball, which you don't want to do with this Cardinal team because they will come back and score, as we saw with that connection. Lizzie Andrew and Minor again, kind of like I talked about earlier, getting her going, making sure she finds her on the floor quite often.
Lizzie Andrew, the freshman, with 3 kills now on the evening. Minor with the serve.
Ball coming back over. Straight down from Kaylani Hayes on LMU. I think I said that again. LMU just needing more of that firepower. We noticed the last maybe 4 or 5 points, I'd say, just not really getting that same level of energy from a lot of their swings, not really getting that connection with their setters right now, but they can figure that out.
Hastings with a dig. Here's Myers.
There we go. We see them waking up. Stanford also realizing this, discussing how to adjust on that one.
Now Myers and Flickinger for the Lions have been on all night. Myers 9 kills, Flickinger 7. Do you just keep going back to them in this moment then, or are you trying to still get other people going?
I think right now, obviously the easy choice, right, would be to continue to feed them, and if it's working, that's what you do, but you also want to make sure that you're able to spread the offense out as well.
Myers with the textured ball over.
Oh, big one. Myers knew that was coming from Jordan Harvey. She gets her feet to that ball, and you saw with her reach there that she was going to take that one straight down inside the 10-foot line. Let's take a look. And she puts her hands up and protects her face. Does not even try to defend that ball.
That was a rocket.
LMU block way outside of the ball, and Harvey on that one gave her way too much space, but very athletic player there, and that ball's outside. Our bench just got taken down.
We just got taken out over here, but it was well worth it.
Myself, I wanted to go for that, put my platform out for
what
that ball and take it.
What happened to the reflexes, Naya?
But, you know, wanted to give LMU a chance to reach for that one, see if she could make it over this TV in front of us. Doesn't quite get there, unfortunately. Exciting for us, though. It's like we're on a roller coaster over here.
Very much so. Hayes denied. Hayes again. Here's a set from Minor. Here's Harvey.
Off speed. Kind of a misconnection on that swing there, but it doesn't matter. It goes outside of the hands on the LMU block. Let's take a look. Right outside of Meyer's hands there. She doesn't quite get all the way out to the pin. And even with it being off speed, Hastings not able to pick that one up.
Here's a serve from Kurt into the net.
Misses that one, and LMU will switch now. Supposed to be running there. 6-2 here, making some changes, but head coach Kirsten's making some changes. He's bringing in Tolan again. She will rejoin the Lions on the floor.
Olivia Tolan, junior out of Pasadena. She played one set last night, coming in a little more fresh tonight, but she's been in 2 of the 3 sets that we've seen here for LMU, and if they're gonna make a run at it, this would be the moment. 3 points behind, and
huge swing there. LMU also need to work on their timing with their blocks right now. Stanford is kind of having a field day. They're able to just hit wherever on the court at this moment.
It does certainly seem like Stanford are just able to pick out exactly where they want it. Here's Ogilvie for the Cardinal.
Good pass there. And there we get Lawson going. Schaefer super excited. Getting that connection going again between her and Lawson takes a big swing through Francis.
Gianna Lawson, a player where you look at her statistics this year, and it seems like she just hasn't really been able to get going this game compared to what she's been able to do in the rest of the year. And there's another kill there. Harvey for the Cardinal
is on fire. 10 kills. We'll take a look at that. Hitting 400. 9 kills. Oh, no, 10 kills. I was correct the first time. Hitting 450. Only 1 error. They're going to challenge this one. See if it was in or out on the line. That ball straight down, barely past the 10-foot line.
So a reminder for everybody on challenges. If LMU challenges and wins the challenge, they keep that challenge. If they challenge and lose it, that challenge will be taken away. They have 2 challenges that they can use and a 3rd added if this goes to 5 sets. Always good to just level set there. Did you happen to get a good enough look?
You know, where we are and where the screen is, I could see where it landed, but it's hard to tell. Only because usually when you have the replay and you have the challenges, we'll be able to see if the ball lands even a little bit on the line, it is in. So we'll take a look here and see where is that. It's out. That ball actually, let's take another look here. We'll see what the refs see, but that looks like right outside of the line there. Yeah, it seems like, look at the shadow there. It seems like that ball does not touch the white line there. It's really, really, really close, though.
Really, I would agree with you. Really close from this angle. It really does look like it's out of bounds. Is there enough to overturn it, I suppose, is the question. The call was in, of course, for it to be overturned. There would have to be enough conclusive evidence. It seems to us that there might be, but
we need those cameras like they have in tennis. You
watch tennis?
I was thinking
that. I was thinking that. I don't know why we don't have the slow motion replay.
So funny, but
or goal line technology like in soccer.
Yep. But yeah, like you said, LMU, if the refs do decide that this ball is out and they're able to overturn that point from Stanford, they are going to give that. Let's see. They called it in. Couldn't tell there. Maybe that little shadow was enough.
Yeah, an unsuccessful challenge. Maybe they thought there was a small piece of the ball that was on the line.
That was
perhaps.
on that white line.
Just inconclusive evidence to overturn it, and it was always just going to be how the call was initially made. We'll never know, but remains 13-9, Cardinal in the lead, and also with the serve, Jordan Harvey with the serve here.
That overpass so high, and Francis, 6'6", goes up for that one. No one is touching that ball, just straight down into the court.
Sammy Francis, first team All-ACC out of San Diego, California, absolutely punishes LMU for that one. Harvey again with the serve. Flickinger.
That was a perfect pass from LMU. Trying to get that connection going, and Flickinger takes a swing on that quick ball to the outside from Schaefer.
Gianna Lawson now with the serve. You can see LMU just trying to pump each other up. This is the moment. Lawson.
Tough serve from Lawson there, forcing a bump set. Rubin with an off-speed shot.
Francis. And it looked for a moment like Schaefer was going to handle that well, but just a little too much power from Francis on that one.
That one straight into her chest. Can't do much with that ball from Francis. Take a look at how high that swing was.
So it's been all Stanford. We're going to take a break here. 15-10 is the score, and we'll be back after this. Back in action now, and kicking it off with a big one from Hayes.
Starting off that pass close to the net, but Schaefer makes it work. Hayes is up and ready as her job as a middle blocker, and takes a big swing to the corner on that one.
15-11 now, and LMU.
Hayes with 4 kills and hitting .429 on the match, but does not quite get there on that block with Ipar Kurt. She takes a pretty easy textbook swing cross court there. Let's take a look at that.
And you've
too
mentioned
late on the block.
This has been the story of the match for LMU. Too late on the block.
They were so disciplined last night against UW, but Cami Minor, the tempo that she can push, and having so many effective players on the net, as we can see, it's very hard for LMU with their defense to make sure that they are paying attention and staying engaged. Also with the middle blockers, it's hard to get on each side of the court, and you're trying to stay in for how big their middles are. They don't want to leave them alone, but got to get out to the pin as well.
Flickinger with that kill, and now she will serve. This is the 16th appearance overall for the LMU Lions, their first under Trent Kirsten. Their first appearance since 2022, which is not saying a lot. That just means that they didn't make it last year.
A big swing there from freshman Lizzie Andrew. We talked about the connection with her and Cami Minor and how Minor has been trying to get her going. They had some misconnections in the match last night and in their previous matches, but she continues to build with her and build her confidence there. And as we can see, her swings are getting stronger and stronger as the match goes on.
Here's the opportunity. Arrington takes advantage. He's able to get that point back for LMU.
Shu getting Arrington back into this offense here, giving her that ball. And earlier in the match, every time she was set, she was sneaking that through the block and then kind of went away from that a little bit and showing that she is back in it.
Hastings with the serve, and now over to Harvey.
Jordan Harvey again. They left that hole there in the LMU block, so Harvey takes that ball straight through, as you can see. Not able to close that one, and she's just too quick for LMU in that play.
Ipar Kurt, the redshirt freshman out of Istanbul, Turkey, will serve now for the Cardinals. She's second team All-ACC on the season.
Ball a little too outside of the antenna from Myers. She's not able to take a swing. Unfortunately, gives Stanford a free ball, but Stanford returns with their own tip there. Little off-speed swing from Harvey. She's laughing because she knows she mishit that one. Little fingertip ball. Really good night for E. Park Hurt.
Well handled here. Shu with the back set, a difficult one, but Arlington is able to get it over but not in, and Stanford Cardinal.
Shu wanting to try to give someone the ball there with that back set, but doesn't quite make it out to the pin for right side Arrington. Unfortunately tries to save that one.
So another one for Kurt.
LMU looking a little bit off right now, not connecting as a team.
And another one for Harvey right there. Harvey with her 13th kill on the evening. And you mentioned a big part of that is the one and only Cami Meyer, who we promised that we'd talk about. We haven't done it enough tonight. Just an incredible talent here for the Stanford Cardinal. There won't be enough time for us to say it, but all-time is second in all-time assists in all of the Stanford record books. She surpassed to get into second last night. She's 2024 ACC Setter of the Year, first team All-ACC, two-time Pac-12 Setter of the Year. So if we combine that, that's 3 times in a row she's Setter of the Year across those 2 conferences, and we're going to pause on that because we've got another LMU challenge.
I think head coach Kirsten just maybe needed a moment to talk to his team coming out of that with another hitting error, unfortunately, on the right side. See what this looks like here. Challenging, maybe hoping for in on that ball.
Yeah.
See it one more time there, but unfortunately, LMU seeming to not be able to connect too much, at least not connect consistently with their setters. Let's see this again.
That looks pretty well out, but like you said, maybe he just needed some time. Maybe he thought, hey, let's try for a stroke of luck here. Sometimes that happens.
Looking for maybe a touch there, but we knew that one, I think he maybe just wanted to use that one possibly as a timeout, but this LMU team trying to figure out how they can get reconnected with their setters to get the offense going.
And they've got 3 points to do it. Stanford 22, LMU 13. They've been in every set. This is the only one that really feels like it's gotten away from them.
Oh, and E. Park Hurt with a funny little error there. She stepped on the line, the service fault. Never really see that too often.
You certainly do not, but that's the kind of luck maybe LMU needs right now to get something going.
She's laughing about that one, but see Coach Kevin Hambley pulls her to the side and shows her just how much. She just got a little too close on that.
Mia Schaefer now, Setter of the Year in the WCC.
That ball just out. Unfortunately, the more unforced errors on LMU on this side, and you can kind of see little difference now in their energy and the faces of the players trying to hold on here at the end. Point there. Touch the net on Stanford, so LMU gets that one. Myers back.
This really has been the story of it, though. The Lions get the opportunity, an unforced error, give it away. They get the opportunity back. Let's see if they can capitalize on it here. Here's Myers on the serve. Francis.
Big dig there.
Just too far from Flickinger.
Unfortunately for LMU, and Stanford now has match point.
Maples Pavilion on their feet now. Jordan Harvey with the serve for the Cardinal. Flickinger denied. It'll be a point to LMU as that goes wide.
Not letting Stanford take the match just yet. She takes a big swing. We haven't seen for quite a while now in this set, unfortunately. Lauren Patterson in for LMU now to serve out.
Match point again now for the Cardinal. Francis! And the Stanford Cardinal.
Ends it for Stanford.